you so much. I know you're a really busy lady, and we just so appreciate you training for us tonight. So go ahead and take it away.
You're so sweet. Yes, no, absolutely. It is my pleasure. And I am just, first of all, I'm so sorry. It's just a little crazy, in a good way, but I am excited to sit and spend a little bit of time with you guys. Oh, hello, little one. I honestly, a couple things that I want to share with you that's probably sitting, on my heart, probably heavier than anything else, is just honestly sitting and chatting a little bit about just really walking into. We've got a lot of noise. Just walking into summer really strong. I'm going to sit and see if I can. I don't know if Carlita or Ann, if you can manage those participants, because there's like a lot of background noise. I can't even hear myself.
Hang on 1 minute. I'm going to mute all again, and then I'm going to unmute you. So hang on. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good? All right.
Yes, we're good.
So a couple things that I just want to share with you, because there is amazing amounts of momentum that is going on, that I just want to share kind of some of the things that are going on in our business. And really, more than anything, as we're walking into May and, in the second week of May, and really getting ready for these, for the month after GTC, as well as really setting yourself up for success, walking into the summer. And it's fun because one of the things that I remember when I was going, I went region in the summer and I went nation in the summer. And so for me, those summer months are some of my favorite. But I remember like my mindset walking into them versus, kind of where a lot of people coming off of GTC kind of get a little bit on that, like, and waning maybe a little bit in that energy and things like that, or we're like settling into vacations and weddings and graduations and all those kinds of things that happen this time of year, and some of the things that honestly I really focused on years ago, and some of the things that my team is focusing on right now, that because of that is creating a lot of momentum and a lot of things that I want to, kind of sit and share with you. And one of the things was, first and foremost, was, even when I was promoting to region, I honestly always acted like I was a team of one. Like I literally didn't matter how many people had an ID number in my business. I was literally always acting like I was a team of one. And, the funny part about it is that I think sometimes, and not being weird, so just hear me out and hear my heart, is that we look at the amount of people that have an ID number in our business. And I will tell you, I'm not going to lie, I'm a sucker for potential, and I love people and I love their stories and I love why they're doing Arbonne. And so, for me to they're going to do Arbonne. Like, what do you mean? Like, let me just talk to you a little bit more. Let me just give you 10 more other, plans, and 10 more other ways to sit and build this business. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, all these are, things that I can tell you and pour into you to make you do Arbonne. Like, guys, here's the deal. At the end of the day, and I love that Ann got to introduce me tonight, but I'm going to be really honest. And I say this, and I know that Ann knows this, but it's like, when I first got started, Ann showed me what it required to do this business. And I just did it. Like, I didn't I just did it. Like, and believe me, it wasn't like she taught me and left me. Like, it was like she taught me, she stuck with me, she, showed me how to key in orders, how to do a presentation. But at the end of the day, guys, like, how many times, this is just like a little gut check for you, but how many times do you sit and send emails to somebody 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years into your business? You're like, hey girl, just thinking about you. Like, let me know. I'm guilty of this. I'm saying this because I'm guilty of this. But I remember thinking, like, and I'm not, Ann's very loving, so take this very carefully, but it's just like, it wasn't like I built my business because I built my business. It wasn't because I had Ann constantly like, come on girl, come on girl, come on girl, come on girl. And sometimes I think we lose track of that. And it was crazy because when I was building myself to region and even to nation, I wasn't building my business that way. And I acted like I was a team of one. And I acted like every month I was going area again. And, so for those of you that don't know, so when I first started Arbonne, I think I went district in about 6 weeks. and which was great, whatever. And great, don't get me wrong. And then area in about 5-6 months, or 5 months after I started, I promoted to area on Halloween. So I started the very end of May and promoted on Halloween. So 5 months or whatever that is. And which was, again, but from that point on Halloween, I went area over and over and over again. I didn't act like those were the people that were going to be my end all people. And I just kind of kept going, and I kept finding people. And so my mantra, number one, and if you want to take some notes, my number one thing is, number one, act like you're a team of one. Number two, sponsor literally 2 to 4 consultants every single month to build your business. And that was exactly what I did. It was funny because at the end of the year, when I promoted a region, I had 12 direct districts. And I didn't think it was like a thing. I just thought that that's what you did. And I will never forget, I got to meet Carlita. The very first time I met Carlita was at AIT. So I started at the end of May, and somehow by the grace of God earned AIT that very first year. And I were very strategic, but I earned AIT, and I remember going to Cancun. And I earned it only just for one, but this was the funny part, and this is just like a total sidebar for you guys. It was $1,000 buy-in to take my husband, and I didn't tell him it was $1,000 buy-in for him to come, and that I had earned it independently. I said, I've earned this trip, but the only way we get to go is if I pay $1,000. And because me going on that trip wasn't negotiable. And I'll never forget, I claimed that trip on the very last day, the very last night. And I knew that if I was going on that trip, he needed to be there too, because it helped build his vision. And so for those of you that need to help build your husband's vision, just lock that one away. But that's just like a little fast sidebar. And so, but I'll never forget meeting Carlita and meeting her in the pool. Like Anna and I were walking by the pool, and she was like, "There's Carlita." I'm like, she's like, "Do you want to meet her?" I was like, "Yes." And so we got in the pool and we met her. And of course, Carlita's Carlita. And, she's so welcoming and loving. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love her." And she was drinking like one of those like beer and margarita mixture things. I don't even know what it was, but she just like, people just kept handing her one. She'd take a sip and put it down. She was so funny. But I'll never forget like that very first time she was like, "When's your RVP date?" And I'm like, I don't know, March. I literally made up a date because I was like, I think I should probably know a date, and I don't know a date. And I just made up a date. But I'll never forget her talking to me about my business and earning AIT this quickly. And like, she picked up how quickly I had earned it. And she said, honestly, the biggest thing that you can do is promote out a district every single month. If you personally promote out a district every single month, within a year, you'll be a region. And which is exactly what I did. I was like, okay, well, here's the formula, right? But how do you do that? What does that look like? How do you promote out a district every single month? I mean, at the time I was just like, okay, well, I just need to start asking a ton of people, which is exactly what I sat and did. And so that was my focus, and literally, no joke. That's all I did was ask people to join my business and teach and train them and go find more people and keep asking people to join my business. Like, I never sat with anybody. I mean, I did. I loved them, but I never sat there with them. And the crazy thing is, a little over a year, I promoted to region with 12 direct districts. I had no areas, which I don't necessarily recommend because I was a little unstable, and I worked a little bit harder because I always work with the mentality that everybody was going to quit. And so I just kept hustling, and I never stopped. I never stopped till Nation. And even after Nation, I didn't stop. But here's the funny part. And I'm going to share some numbers with you because I think numbers are powerful. When I promoted to region at 13 months into my business, 13, 14 months, something like that, through the summer, I promoted to region, went into qual in July and finished in August. I think at this point, maybe 2 people still have an ID number in my business today, but I have 13 VPs on my team, which I don't know if Ann shared this or not, but none of them had an ID number when I promoted to region. Not one, which is all the more reason that once you get to region, you just don't stop. I didn't stop. Like, okay, cool. I got a car. Let's just keep going. I didn't stop because region wasn't my goal. It was a pit stop to pick up a car. Like, no joke. And I just kept going, and I just kept doing what I was doing. But sometimes I think in our journey, we stop asking. And and we get really excited about our products, and we've got some amazing products. Do not get me wrong, but sometimes I think no matter if you are 2 days old in this business, 2 weeks old, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, there's a lot of times that we can find a lot of confidence in our products and not necessarily in ourselves. And so there's a lot of times that we can lead with incredible strength with our products and not necessarily with our business opportunity, which is the best product in the catalog. But sitting and saying, I am the best thing that I can offer you, and understanding the gift that you have to give to other people. Like, there are times, guys, that, I shudder to think, if Anne hadn't have at least grabbed Brian on that ball field at the very last game of the season, I could not even imagine how radically different our lives would look today without this business. Like, I don't even want to think of it. It's like one of those things that I'm like, la, 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 la. I don't even want to think about it. I will mentally not even go there. Because I know how different it looks. And it's only because of Arvon, and the ability to help my family, but to help so many other. We have a thing in my business called QIJ Day. It's Quit Your Job Day. And it's just giving people the ability to live life by design and give them the ability to quit their job. But what does that look like? How do you help people do that? And even when I was building myself to region and also building myself to nation, and guys, even when I promoted to nation, I promoted out 3 direct regions. Those are my first 3. And that was a lot of fun. Going to your own car presentation is amazing, but like handing the keys to somebody else is like the greatest high ever. It's an amazing feeling knowing through your struggles and your strifes, look at what somebody else has accomplished because you just refuse to give up. It feeds your soul, but to sit and know the impact that you get to have on somebody else. I talk with my team all the time about, understand that you have a ripple effect. And in this business, what is your ripple going to look like? And nobody wants to just come here, live, and then leave. You want to know that you left an impact while you're here. The beautiful part about this business is that we've got an incredible company, incredible products, absolutely 100%, but it's our business opportunity that allows us to have an impact on this world in bigger ways that we can ever dream. And guys, I know a lot of you know a lot of the stuff that I've done in Haiti. And if you're not on our next auction, you need to be next week, May 17th. Selfish plug, forgive me. But the thing about it is that Haiti was never part of my vision in the beginning. I wanted just to take care of my family, but as my business grew, my vision grew. And that's the beautiful part, because here's the thing. When you start this business, so many of us are just getting through. We're just getting by. We're just finding a way to get through another month. And if this is a way we can make it some extra money to get through another month, that's awesome, which 100% is true. But when we offer this gift to somebody else and we watch mamas coming home and we watch, people being able to be present in their kids' lives and take care of aging parents and things like that, that's when you see your ripple effect. That's when you see that through this business and through the vehicle of this business, you have the ability to leave an impact on other people's lives. And believe me, when I started Arvon, the earthquake hadn't even happened yet. That was just all God. But it's just like, I never thought that I would be like, one of the biggest things that would move my heart and continue to even drive me to build my business is a third world country, but is understanding the ripple effect that I can sit and have, and understanding the impact I can have. And sometimes that just starts with having the impact on one other person, but it requires you to ask. And so I want to challenge you. The biggest way to have your most amazing summer is by asking. It's just by asking. And sometimes a couple things that I want to share tonight, more than anything else, is what does your ask look like and how much are you asking? And I've got a new gal in my business just recently that just promoted a regional vice president. We're super excited for her. Last year at this point, she did not have an ID number. So, which is really kind of fun. And when she first got started, she was pregnant, getting ready to have a baby. And I'll never forget, she came to an area manager retreat in July. and she was like 38 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, you are like 10 shades of crazy. She's like, this is my second baby. It's fine. I'm like, all right. You're still like amazingly pregnant. Ended up having her baby in August, thank goodness. A little overdue and very big. And kind of put her business down for half a second. But here's the thing is she saw the power of what this business could accomplish. And I remember talking with her and her upline, Blair, who's my new ENVP. And we were sitting and kind of strategizing and chatting a little bit. And a lot of this really came into fruition even more in January. But in October, November, when she started really getting her business back in gear, getting activity on her calendar, but really getting intentional about who she was asking to take a look at her business. And she absolutely wanted to get back into qualification for area because she was a district at the time. She had gotten into qualification back, I think, in July or August, but then had a baby and just normal life. Get it, But like by October, she's like, no, I'm ready to go. Got into qualification. So here's the thing. I'm going to share with you some numbers, and this is the power of an ask. And I'm going to teach you in just half a second what that ask looks like. So in the month of November, she did 10,000, a little over, just like a smidge over. In the month of December. So this is just like 6 months ago. In the month of December, she did about 15. So she absolutely finished with ease in December, was strong, with strength. In the month of December or January, when most people honestly normally drop, she ended up doing well over 20, 21, 22, earned her area manager bonus. First month out as a brand new area manager. In the month of March, she did over 28, almost 29,000. I'm like, girl, and we did an awesome retreat in January. And one of the biggest things that we focused on in January was getting your asking gear. And what does it look like? How are you asking people to take a look at your business, right? And she just got to work. Guys, what has happened since January is her getting to work and her team duplicating it. So here's some fun numbers. In the month of, again, January, she did a little over 20,000. In February, she did 28, 29. In March, she did 43. And in April, when she finished region, did literally almost 80,000, like 78 and change. That's the power of asking. Like literally finished region, almost halfway to nation. And the thing is that it started back in January where she started asking like crazy, like it's her job, because it's our job, guys. It's literally our job to ask people to take a look at your business. And this is what 90 days looks like. 90 days of asking people. And here's the thing, and we say this, and we've heard this all the time, is if you had 100 people, if you had 100 of you in your business, would you like what your business look like? Right. And I said that back in the training back in January. She's like, I took a hard look at that. And I was like, no, I would not want my business to look like this. So she got really intentional and really focused on how she was asking. And the thing about it is that Blair's entire team did. And because she was one of the VPs that partnered with me on that retreat, and which ended up leading Blair to when she finished nation. I mean, I'm not joking, she finished nation with almost 275,000 in her success line, finishing nation. And so many times, 160 might scare you. She blew insanely past that, which, guys, that's amazing. But it's all about asking. And so the thing, what it is, and one of the biggest challenges that I gave them back in January, which is, again, continuing to create momentum in our business today, is asking 3 people a day. And I call it the power 10. It's the most powerful 10 minutes a day that you can spend on your business, but this is the way you want to do it. It's sitting and saying, okay, who are the 3 people that I'm going to ask tomorrow to take a look at my business? And I know we talk a lot about 40 faces and putting your products in your business in front of 40 people a month. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but that's totally different. This is where I want you to be on the offense, not the defense in your business. I want you to take a look at the people that you meet at your events, out and about, your one-on-ones. Those are icing on the cake. I want you to be on offense in your business. And what this means is asking 3 people every single day to take a look at your business. Guys, I'm going to tell you, you could go through your phone, you could go through Facebook, you could find more than 3 people every single day for the rest of the year to take a look at your business. But let's just start with 30 days and see what happens, right? And so what I want you to do is say, okay, who are my 3 people? And before you go to bed tonight, I want you to sit and stop and say, okay, who are my 3 people that I'm going to ask to take a look at my business tomorrow? And they might be people that you've met before at an event. They might be people that have hosted for you. They might be preferred clients. They might be people in your life. They might be friends that you grew up with, people that you went to high school with, college with, whatever you work with. your neighbors. I mean, like there's oodles and oodles of places that these people can come from. But I want you to ask yourself every single night, who are my 3 people that I'm going to ask to take a look at my business? And guys, don't get weird about it. And I have like a little running joke in my business, like, don't be a weirdo, just be yourself. And there's a lot of scripts out there, which are great, but sometimes scripts make us be weird. And so the biggest thing that I would love for you to do is just what sounds normal to you, but I want you to send it on a voice text. And this is where I'm saying, asking 3 people a day to take a look at your business, do it on a voice text. Do not do it like, you can send it on a text. It's just, you're not going to get the response. And I want you to be successful in whatever you do, right? And so I want you to send, okay, I'm going to send out a voice memo. What does it look like? I want you to personalize it exactly to them. And it might be something, sorry, I've been talking all night. My little throat is dry. I'm sure y'all are like, oh, thank goodness she's going to slow down for half a second. I know there's like, I'm watching my time and I'm like, there's so much I want to tell you. And so what I do a lot of times is I think about the person that I'm sending this message. So I think about my 3 people. And like, literally, I'm not joking you. This is the number 1 most powerful thing you can do for your business every single day. So who are my 3 people that I'm going to ask tomorrow? And I think to myself, number 1, when is the best time for me to reach them? Do they work during the day? Then I'm not going to send them a voice message during the day. I'm going to send one at night. Or maybe if they're home during the day and they've got little people, like, okay, so probably like 1 o'clock, people might be napping. So that's probably a good time for me to go ahead and reach out to them. So think about, what is the best time of day that you can reach them? And so that you're being intentional, because here's the thing, guys, when you're sending somebody, whether it's a voice text, regular text, any kind of message, it will get buried. I know that I am like glutton for punishment, like literally all the time. My things get lost in my Voxer, things get lost in my text messages if it gets buried. So I want to make sure that I'm very intentional with what time of day I'm sending that message, right? And so usually for most of the people that I'm going to leave a message for, it's going to probably be at, say, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And so a lot of times too, I'll look at my husband, I'll be like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And he knows that's my power 10. And so I sit and I'm like, okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. He's like, okay, I got you. I got the kids, I got dishes, I got whatever. And I literally come up into my office and I'm like, okay, here's my 3 messages. I'm going to get it over with. And so I'm intentional about what time. But then I make it very personal. And guys, I send a really easy voice memo. And you can send voice memos on Instagram. You can send voice memos on Facebook. You can send it on text. And here's the thing. If somebody has an Android phone and you have an iPhone, I was like, oh, how do I figure that one out? You can record a voice memo in your voice memos on your iPhone, and you can then send it to somebody who has an Android phone. So it works in all cases. So I promise you, I figured it all out. I've tried it all, believe me. And so I just didn't say, hey, I can see Alexa right now. For some reason, she's the only beautiful little face that I see on my phone right this second, plugged into this. So I'm just going to sit and use her as an example. And I'll just say, hey, Alexa, it's Beth. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you tonight. I don't know if you know, but I have this amazing business with Arbonne, and it's been something that's just, I fell in love with the products years ago and just love sharing them with others, and, realized there's an incredible lucrative business opportunity that was attached to it. But I have you sitting on my heart that I wanted to share this with you. And here's like key verbiage. And you guys have probably heard this before. This is nothing new. I probably have learned this from your mama, Miss Carlita. But the thing is the biggest key verbiage that I can say, and that is, I don't know if you know that I have a business with Arbonne. Half the time, most people don't know unless you tell them, because most of us are like Arbonne incognito agents. Like nobody knows that we're in business with Arbonne until we tell them. And so I just didn't say, I don't know if you know, but I have this amazing business with Arbonne that, and you can say, I started years ago when I started using the products years ago and fell in love with it, and, realized that I could share it with other people and make an incredible income. Or for me, what I say is, I don't know if you know, but I have this amazing business with Arbonne that has given, me and my family incredible financial blessings. And I honestly, started doing this years ago, whatever you want to say that sounds like you. Don't get long-winded. But I just said and say, I just had you sitting on my heart. And here's the key is key part. So like, don't overthink that first part, but don't get too long-winded. But I just would say, but here's the thing, I had you sitting on my heart, and because guys, those 3 people are sitting on your heart. So don't think that that's a weird thing. And if that sounds weird for you to say, just say, I had you in my mind, or you ran across my mind or whatever. I just like to say, I just had you sitting on my heart, and I just felt like I needed to share this with you. And I don't know if it'd be a fit or not, but, and here's also another key. So, you know, I don't know if it'd be a fit or not, whatever, but I didn't know if you would just be open to taking a look at what I do. Now, you're not asking them to join your business or anything else like that. If they're interested in joining your business, or if they're interested in looking for a business, nothing. Like, would you just be open to taking a look at what I do? And, you know, again, like I can send you a quick little easy video and just give you a little bit of information. And, you know, more than anything, I really feel like I need to share this with you. And most of the time people are like, oh my gosh, like, you're so sweet. Or, you know, guys, if you're like nervous to like reach out to somebody, half the time I say like, okay, like, I have to tell you, I am so nervous to send this little voice memo. I'm not good at voice memos. If I sound weird, like, forgive me. I'm doing my best, but I wanted to reach out to you with my whole heart and have you hear me. Guys, when you share that vulnerability and that transparency, that is more endearing than sounding like you're scripted. You're going to connect with people. But just offer people that if they would be open to taking a look. And at the times, most of the time people respond back to me and I say, well, yeah, sure. You know, I'd be open to taking a look. I mean, I don't know if I'd be interested, but I mean, I'll take a look. And I just say, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And they're like, well, yeah, sure. And so I send them my 10-minute video. And guys, I might be opening up Pandora's box, so y'all forgive me if I do. My little all my MVP friends here. But one of the biggest things that I challenged my team with now is make your own 10-minute video. You can absolutely send your upline VP 100%, but think about it. If you're on the receiving end and somebody, your friend, reaches out to you and says, hey, I want you to take a look at what I'm doing. I've got this amazing business. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? And then all of a sudden they sent you a video of somebody else. I mean, it wouldn't be as interesting to you as it would be if they sent a video of themselves, right? So what I do in that quick little 10-minute video is my story. So a little bit about me, why I got started, my initial thoughts, some of my hesitations, and why I decided to get started and where I'm going. But then I weave it into a little baby Discover Arbonne. And all I do, and the 5 things that I talk about, and I teach my team to talk about, and I encourage them, if they can use my video or they can use their upline RVP's video, but I would love for them to create their own video. And I just tell them, like, if you want to record a video, send it to me, that'd be amazing. So they record a video, whether it's a YouTube link or whatever, I critique it and they go back and do it again. And this is where you have to have a coachable heart. But there's 5 things that I tell them to talk about after the I story. And the first thing that I tell them to talk about is, I am so sorry, I'm going to go way over. Sorry, 10:06 sugar. Is number 1, of course, the products. Naturally, the products are amazing and all those kinds of things. The second thing I tell them to talk about is it's consumable. And so you have that aspect to it. The other thing is that I tell them to talk about is the fact that with technology, we have so many ways to build this business. Hello, hi, how we're talking right now. And so we have so many opportunities and so many different ways to build this business. I know, keep talking. I'm so sorry, y'all. Humor me. So with technology, you have the ability to build this business, but because of technology, you can build this business globally. And so, you know, products, consumability, all the different ways we can build our business, as well as being able to build a global business. But here's the thing, and I always wrap up with the last thing. The 5th thing is, of course, the income, but I don't go into the whole comp plan. But I just say, you know, this is an incredible way to sit and make $1,000 a month, or you can make a 5 to 6 figure income a month. It's all up to you, and you can decide what you want to do with it. But I know for me and my family, initially, if I could make an extra $1,000 a month, that would be amazing. But the longer that I do and I build my Arbonne business, I see the vision of what's possible. And I know that 5 to 6 figures a month is, you know, a breath away or something like that. And so you can sit and create your own 10-minute video. But guys, here's the power of that ask. And the last a couple things I want to share. 3 things maybe, I'm going to squeeze it all in, is reaching out and asking people just to take a look at your business. And just say, you know, look, if I sent you a 10-minute video, you know, would you watch it? And they'll be like, yeah, well, sure. And guys, here's the thing. Nobody's going to watch something over 10 minutes. You don't want to send them a 30-minute Discover RMI. You want to send them something short, which is probably why I'm like losing a couple of you. But anyway, hopefully not. It's keeping it short and sweet, number one. And if they sit and say, but here's the thing, really fast. Most of the time, most of us are scared, and this is where I'm just going to be real honest with you. Most of us are scared to send 3 of those little voice memos every day because we're like, what do we do when they say no? Like, woo, what do I do with that? Like, I'm not really sure. Like, how do I come back with that? If somebody sits like, and rejection is like the biggest fear for most people of like, oh, the sting, like, what do I do? But the thing is that if you know how to respond to it, it's no big deal, right? And so if you send out, and half the time, and I know that Carlita talks all the time about putting people in the funnel at the right time. I talk about putting people in the funnel at the top and versus just at products. No, not just at products, put them in the funnel at the top. And there's a lot of people that you might have in your life right now that you've put them in the funnel at products, and then you've lost them. They're okay, totally okay to go back in and like, hey, look, I know that I reached out to you, a year ago, about our healthy living or whatever. And you were just, you weren't interested, but you know what? For some reason, I just feel like I need to share more with you. And I just didn't know if you'd be open. It's okay to go back and offer those people the business, a while later. But anyway, you want to put people on the top of the funnel, ask them to take a look at your business. 3 asks a day, the most powerful 10 minutes you can spend every single day. But here's what happens when they sit and say, no, thank you. And you're like, they're like, I wish you the best of luck. Good luck with that cute little lipstick business. And again, be like, okay, and I just said, say, totally, I get it. No big deal, girl. But honestly, the products are incredible. So then at that point, come back with the products and just say, more than anything, I just would love to share with you how amazing the products are. Is there a time in the next week that you and I can just get together and I can just pop over and share them with you? I would love your feedback. And guys, everybody wants to give their feedback. So just to say, I would just love your feedback. And, is there a time in the next week? So honestly, I go from that to usually kind of asking for a one-on-one. And they might say, well, yeah, well, sure. Yeah. When's a good time? Yeah. Come on over. I'd love to try the products. I just don't want to do this as a business because guys, half the time they don't even know what they're saying no to. And so no big deal. I know for me, I mean, even when I sat with Anne, I was, she walked me through the business and it sounded great on paper, but I was like, I need to see this in action. And so for a lot of times when people sit and say no to the business, I'm like, in my mind, let you see this in action. And sometimes seeing it in action works great as just a one-on-one. So I sit and I work to book the one-on-one. And the other thing that I just kind of toss in at the end is I'm like, and if you want to get a couple friends together, I'm always looking to meet some new people, and I would always, love more people's feedback. So, I mean, if you want to get some people together, that would be amazing. And so going from asking them to take a look at your business to asking them for a one-on-one. And the other thing too, that is, that we are doing a lot in my business is if they say, I would love to take a look at your products. I mean, I'm insanely crazy busy. And I say, girl, I totally get it, because people are so insanely overscheduled right now. It's not even funny. And so one of the things that I do is I just say, you know what, but next Monday and every Monday, I personally, and what I'm teaching my team is every Monday night or whatever nights works for you, to do a virtual event. And so as you're sitting and asking 3 people a day for a week to take a look at your business, that's 21 people, right? And in a month, it's like almost 90, pretty powerful, but let's just stick with a week. So every single Monday night, I personally do a quick little virtual event. And I just say, they're too busy. They're not interested in my business. They're too busy to, let me pop over and bring some stuff to them or some samples to them or anything else. Totally not a big deal. I just say, well, I totally get it, girl. Like we're all so crazy busy. And while I have them, like while they're messaging me back and forth, I message them back. I'm like, I'm having this really casual online Facebook event next Monday night. Would you be open, at least just letting me add you to that event? I don't say, do you want to go to it? I'm like, would you be open to just me adding you to that event? And usually they're like, well, yeah, sure. Go ahead and add me. I'm like, awesome. Perfect. I'm going to drop you some samples in the mail, but I'm going to add you to that event. And like literally the next day I'll drop her some samples in the mail. I'll add her to that event. And then on Monday night, she's going to sit and connect. And one of the biggest things that you can do is like literally every single month, if you have something to go to, don't put it off 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, because people are just they're gonna forget about it. But if you just know, like, okay, every Monday night at 9 o'clock for 25 minutes, I'm gonna sit in front of my computer just like this. Like, it's pretty simple. So what do I do during a virtual event? I'll answer that question real quick. Fast sidebar. So what I do is, this is like my protocol. For me personally, this is what I do, and this is what I teach my team. Every Tuesday morning, I set up next Monday night's event. So today is Wednesday. So yesterday morning, I set up my next Monday night's event. So that I know that it's already set up and it's already out there. And I just set it up, make it cute, whatever. I do a little intro post like, hey, I can't wait to share with you next Monday night. I've got like this collage of pictures that it's just like me and my family, whatever. And then every single Saturday, I go into that next Monday's event and I do an Hour Advantage. So I go in and spend 5 minutes and do a quick Facebook Live in that next upcoming group that just tells them a little bit about Arvon. And then on Sunday, I tell them a little bit about me. So I do my iStory on Sunday. I just, like, every Sunday, I have an alarm in my phone, like, go in and do it every Sunday. So I pull it out of the actual event so that the event doesn't get too long. I'm seriously going way over on time. I'm so sorry, y'all. And then, so every Sunday I do, Carly is like, where are you going here, girl? And so Sunday I just do my iStory, and then Monday I do, and the actual event that I do on Monday is actually just products and how you can shop. So it leaves like the core part of like what I want to share on Monday there, but it just helps me feed people through the funnel better and how I'm going to connect with people. Because the biggest thing about this business is that in our products and offering the products in the business people is you want to meet people where they're at, right? And so this is how you can meet people where they're at, and it will start getting traction. Because here's the crazy part. When you do it, it's amazing. So if you're a team of 1 right now and you ask 3 people a day to take a look at your business, you're looking at asking 90 people, right? Let's just say you're a team of you plus 3 other people. You and your team just asked 360 people to take a look at your business. This is the power of just 3 people a day and then following up. I'm going to tell you right now, like Jill, for example, and Blair, for example, are in so much momentum. They can't ask any more people right now. Like Jill, when I mapped out her business, she's like 25 or 30 people wide. I'm not even joking. Like I literally could even map it out. She's like, I've just been asking. She's like, I ask at least 3. She's like, sometimes if I have more time in a day, I might ask 10 to 15 people. I'm like, where have you been all my life? You know, like I need 100 of you, you know, but like that's the power of an ask. And so I just want to challenge you to sit and say, you know, who are the people that I'm asking every day? Like, what is your power 10 look like? Who are the 3 people that you're asking with your whole heart that you're going to sit and send a voice memo to, and they can hear you, they can hear your heart, they can hear exactly what it sounds like coming out of you, your intonation, and then follow up. And if they're interested in looking at your business, send them your video. I challenge you to make your own video. Send it to your upline VP, and they'll critique it and be coachable, and let them send it back to you. Say, okay, tweak this, tweak that. I mean, I've had people send it to me that's 3 minutes long. I've had people send me theirs that's 25 minutes long. I'm like 10, less than 10 minutes, but not 3. You want to make sure you have enough content and connect with people, because again, it's your connecting video. And if they're not interested in your, and then from there, answer questions, set up the next thing, the whole 9 yards. But if it's a no, just say it's okay. Let me funnel you to a one-on-one. And oh, by the way, invite some people. Oh, you can't do that. You can't connect with me face to face. Then let me get you on this virtual event. Guys, just get them, meet them where people are. And that's what's going to gain traction. If you do it every single week, the best part is that if you have this set up every single Monday or whatever night, if Tuesday nights are better for you than Monday nights, then set it up on Tuesday nights. But just know that you have it out there. So as you're asking, you immediately have something to invite them to. And it will literally, like, the traction that you'll get from it is amazing. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you really, really fast, oh my gosh, I'm going so fast, is on your 40 Faces document, be intentional about it. I want you to sit, besides your 3 asks a day, but think about 40 people that you know in your life that you love in your business. And one of the biggest tips that I got probably a couple months ago about this, and this has been like crazy powerful for my team as well, is go out to Facebook, right? God, I love Facebook. And find those people on Facebook, your 40 people that you want to connect with that month, and go in and turn on their notifications. Now, your little news feed is going to fill up a little bit. But if you go into their notifications, like you pull up that person, and let's just say that you want to, like, you want to target somebody, and you can go and you click on them as a person. On their page, the top right corner, you see 3 little dots, and you can sit, and in there you can sit and say turn on notifications. So you can sit and have, every time that they post something, you get a notification for it, so then you can comment on their post. And then the thing is that when you comment or like on their post, your post and your content is going to pop up in their newsfeed. So that's a great way to really start some organic conversations. And so look at your 40 faces as a way that, as well as 3 asks a day, as your way of being very on the offensive about your business. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking because I know that I'm losing you guys. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So many things I wanted to share tonight. I apologize that I got on here a little bit late, but I hope some of this helped you guys. So I love you guys. Oh my goodness. I don't know.